Welcome to the Forge of Unicorns podcast. I am Attila and I have Gearoid Author C and Michele Brissoni with me. Since this is the very first episode of our podcast, we decided we will start with introductions. In fact, the first 3 episodes will be about this. Because we do things with a twist, we decided that we won't introduce ourselves. Instead, we will interview each other. Today, the interviewer will be Gearoid, who will torture Michele with his questions. Gearoid, the stage is yours.
So, Michele, what's your drink of choice today?
Huh, good question. So today, different than my usual small Italian espresso cup, I have a gigantic mug full of mint tea. I have to recover from yesterday workout. I guess I got a bit too tough yesterday, but we will discuss about it.
Okay. So, how would you describe what you do?
Besides going in the gym and getting destroyed myself, you mean? Here in BriX Consulting, I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
So, what we do and what I do is helping people, helping organizations to achieve digital excellence. And let me phrase better about what is for me digital excellence. Because I discover more than once that people they have their own definition. So I have mine that I don't know if it's the universal, but is what for me is digital excellence. And then we will understand probably why I have this definition. But for me, it's technology now is everywhere. We have a piece of technology in whatever we are doing in our life. From sleeping with the watch that is keeping an eye on your sleeping cycles, to your dishwasher, to your washing machine, everything is now connected. So technology is everywhere. For me, digital excellence is improving the quality of product service that a company is selling in a way that integrates the technology advancement, like could be AI, software, whatever, depends on which field you are, but embedding the technology at its latest stage of development so that your product and services are better, with higher quality, with higher customer satisfaction, with higher revenue, with faster time to market. So compared to what we think now could be achieving the idea of Industry 5.0, where the manufacturer is deeply integrated with software and technology to have a manufacturing chain that is more sustainable and faster.
Okay. And then, how did you come to set up the ecosystem that you go about delivering?
Okay, interesting question. So, I guess that to reply to this one, we need to deep dive in multiple stages of my life. As you see from the color of my beard, I'm not in my teenagerish period. I pass it a few times. And I guess in my life, I got some stages of development that helped me to arrive here, where I am, to this idea of digital excellence. Probably everything began when I was a kid. Because I started when I was really, really young to do martial art and motorsports. And martial art, I'm almost 50, and I started roughly when I was 6 years old, so are more than 40 years that I'm doing martial art to a competitive level. And when you do such sport full of discipline and sport like motorsport where performance is everything, you start to develop some behaviors, some attitude, habits. I don't know even how to frame it. Probably are personality traits now, if you want to go with the idea of Joe Dispenza in breaking the habit of being yourself. If you behave in a certain way for too long, it becomes part of you. And I believe that being a sportsman since I was a kid have changed me to become somebody addicted to performance and discipline. This has probably created the cornerstone to develop this idea to create an ecosystem that is injecting through behavioral engineering in an organization the technical advancement and the social rewiring of the behavior of people to use the technical advancement to create the digital excellence package. There are a lot of theories, and I guess we will touch a lot of books in this discussion about how difficult it is to change how you behave, because we are what we are in psychology, so the ego and the superego and all the stuff that in canonical psychology are typically well known, but also is how you behave with the people, with your social landscape that defines who you are. Because as I say more than once to all the people that I've trained in my dojos, you are a killer when you kill somebody. Were you a killer even before? Who knows it? If you don't kill anybody, you didn't have the act that has removed a life from the planet, and so you're not a killer. But inside, your personality is the personality of a killer. There was also a movie that was doing this theory. I guess was Minority Report, something like this, that they were analyzing people to understand predictable if they would develop some behavior that are harmful. But yeah, the point is behavioral psychology applied to engineering, so behavioral engineering, is a big part of being able to understand how, with data, the behavior of individuals are matching or mismatching in the challenge to achieve something. In sport, could be achieve that you want to go to the Olympic Games to do judo. In motorsport, that you want to become the world champion of Formula 1 or MotoGP or whatever. Okay? For the digital excellence, it was for me, okay, Mike, you need to understand how to help people to change their behaviors so that what they do is not 3 steps back to the step ahead that they did yesterday. This meaning of doing 3 steps back is for me what I call dysfunctionalities. So that you behave in a way that is dysfunctional to the achievement that you want to achieve. Could be, I want to be super lean because I do a challenge of judo, for instance, and I need to be in the category of 86 kilograms, but I eat junk food. And so I need to cut and shred and be leaner. But if I go outside my diet regime, I'm dysfunctional to my achievement. So this kind of stuff, all mixed together, have moved me to understand and create the ecosystem. To describing it in a brief amount of time, I guess, is too complicated at this stage. I guess we need to go through some cycles of understanding why I did some decision in the creation of the product portfolio.
So, you already mentioned two things, motorsports and martial arts, as something that defined you as a person and your path. Can you tell us more about those things, other things that defined you?
Okay. This is an interesting point. So I guess that the stuff that defines me the most is my origin, my roots. I'm a guy from North Italy. I born between the mountains, in the Dolomites. It's not the typical kind of territory that people desire to be in. Very hostile, very cold. People are cold. The climate is cold. There is not the sea. There are no people with the sombrero chilling on the beach with a drink. Everything in the past also, it was the forefront of World War One and World War Two. So the culture when I born was a culture of people that they were facing since 2 generations the forefront of World War. And it was a tough mentality. The mindset was you need to fight until the end. The mindset was you need to work. You cannot chill out. And then if you put this general mindset of workaholic, let's say, plus the culture of, hey kiddo, you need to go to do your martial art, and hey, it seems that you are really talented with the bicycle, you should do some karting mini moto. You have a recipe of somebody that grown up on the mountain. I love to do hiking. I love to be wild in the nature, especially with my horse. And this wilderness plus all the discipline, I guess, were the two pillars of my development as a person. Probably also I still have the workaholic mindset that I need to create stuff every day, but this is a different discussion.
Can you tell more about your hobbies? Because we just jumped at hiking, and indeed we were hiking together last year, but not with horses, but dogs. That's a different kind of thing. But I guess there's more in the background, more hobbies. You already mentioned, I believe, working out. Yes, with your tea.
Yeah. To have many hobbies. Let's say what I love to do is when I have time, hiking. When I feel really lucky, go with my horse. That is the stuff that I love the most. But beside this, I have still my discipline regime. So every day I do my creative workout. So in the early morning, I go and I do some hike, mobility training, and this kind of old man stuff to keep my joints working. At lunch, typically I do my calisthenic workout. I follow the old recipe of the army, doing the typical army calisthenic workout based on burpees, pull-up, and this body weight exercise, plus putting the weight vest or the kettlebell. So really not commercial gym, let's say in this way. I have my garage with all my tools for tuning my motorbikes, and in a corner of my garage I have also my workstation to do my powerlifting and calisthenic stuff. And in the evening I go to the gym to do judo, jiu-jitsu here in Slovakia. And with them the workout is typically very tough. Like yesterday, probably I broke a rib, but okay. Yeah, I cannot laugh too much because otherwise the pain is starting. The crazy stuff that I do on daily basis.
And just one note to the listeners, so even though you were born in Italy, you now live in Slovakia.
Yeah. We relocated here with my family, something like 7-8 years ago. And yeah, I still miss Italy, but yeah, this is my home now, Slovakia.
So you've talked about like growing up in the Italian mountains and then, doing the different things with the army and then now, working in software development. What's kind of been the most interesting thing that you've learned throughout that?
I guess that in your question we have missed the most shocking event for my life. That is the reason where probably everything started. The real spark of all this and the lesson that I have learned is thanks to my brother. So my brother Christian, he works for Ferrari F1. He started to work for them roughly in the beginning of 2000 with his best friend Simone. We all three of us, we grew up together. We were crazy with the bicycle. Then when we grew up with the motorbikes, then I took a engineering study. They instead say, no, we want to get the ends dirty and we want to put the ends on the engines. Since we were kiddos, we were pimping up motorbikes and then cars. And then we started to go into the rally. And the kind of mindset that you need when you don't have the money is a very lean approach. So to start to have the maximum performance of your car with the less cost as possible. A recipe that doesn't fit that much motorsport. But they grew up with experience. And with failure, with more experience, with this experience, they were able to go, and they decided to go in a sort of academy of Ferrari where they were teaching a mechanic to step up. So like a pretty tailored upskilling program for mechanic to become a Ferrari F1 mechanic. And Simone went there. And he broke my brother. And the iron test of my brother was going there and disassembling an engine and rebuilding it. Pretty easy, right? Maybe if you have to play with Lego construction, it is, but with an engine that you don't know, it wasn't that easy. My brother succeeded. And showing that indeed he was talented, that he was all his life and his passion. So with Simone they started to work for Ferrari. At that moment was Sauber was a sub-team of Ferrari, and they were working until my brother and Simone, they were able to step from the satellite team to the main team. At that time was Schumacher, and you know very well what Schumacher did for Ferrari and all the world championship that he won. And their enthusiasm was contagious. And they've shared it with me. In Ferrari there is a lot of family stuff, so that you bring your family to the Ferrari community. And I start to do the aquadance with them, with their stakeholders, with their friends, becoming friends with them. And over time to understand how they were working, doing stuff with them off-site, on-site, doing experiment, but with the mindset of an engineer, an IT engineer. And I was shocked how instead the engineers, the real one, okay, the mechanic, the aerodynamic, the electronic, they were working compared to we as IT engineers. And this was the lesson learned and the event that probably sparked everything. That we believe we are software engineers, of engineering we have almost nothing. That is a sad reality, especially because in the market we have even people that they are not software engineers, they are called developers. And this perverted mechanism that is probably associated also with psychological biases that companies, they require developers, not engineers. But in a scale from being an engineer in F1 and being a developer, the level of mastery, ethos, ethic, working practices is really different. It's like a newbie versus a chef. So a newbie maybe can cook some scrambled eggs. The chef can cook a 5-star Michelin menu. Okay, this is the kind of gap that is on the market, and I was facing at witnessing, and this was the real lesson learned that to me was shocking, telling me, hey Mike, why in IT we are not working like the engineers in Formula 1? And so the stuff that I have for everybody that is listening this podcast is, guys, you need to, especially in the IT part, you need to try to achieve levels of engineering where engineering is really used at its professional tip-top performance, and not thinking that because we are developing in an IDE we are engineers. Software is not engineering at all, unfortunately.
So, would you say that's your biggest piece of advice to impart to the listeners, or what would you say that would be?
Yeah, that don't think that because you are good in smashing the keyboard, writing code on an IDE, it means that you are a software engineer. The advice is, if you are good and if you feel energized, passionate of coding, go for it. Do it. It's your passion. Do it. I strongly believe that we need to do in life what our passions are bringing us the best from us. But don't stop there. Continue with discipline to study. Because from development to being an engineer, there is a big ladder that you need to climb. Probably try to get leverage also of what we have published, the Software Craftsmanship Dojo, in GitHub as a public repository, wherein the white and yellow belt that are totally open for the community, you can understand what I mean with this. Coding on whatever language, it could be Java, JavaScript, Python, Rust, whatever you are using, isn't defining you as an engineer. The capabilities, the practices that instead that you are using to make engineering being part of designing a product, software product, in the way how an engineer is doing it in Formula One or in the engineering fields, this is what you should be focused to achieve. So the suggestion for everybody is, don't stop in getting the pleasure and the energized vibes of I'm coding, I feel good. Make it your profession, but really a profession as an engineer, not an hobby. I'm coding on IntelliJ or Visual Studio Code. Okay, this is absolutely the advice. Also because in this moment, especially now with the disruption of AI, being an engineer will provide you a job. Being a developer probably will provide you nothing more than passion writing code in Visual Studio.
It's an interesting perspective of a developer versus engineer. And then it kind of comes back to what it is you're working on, right? With the BriX Consulting. So tell us about BriX Consulting.
So BriX Consulting is my idea to have a company that is not a conventional one. It's not a company with the typical employer-employee relation. It's a company that is a partnership of people that they understood that being a developer is not enough. They have work and they are working to move even higher than being a software engineer. And we are all partners in this company. And we are providing to our customers services for evolving their company into digital excellence. We are totally against transformation. So nothing that I am aware of in transformation is pain-free. I didn't find the recipe of the painkiller for an organization. There is not the aspirin for anybody. Any CIO, CTO, CEO have the aspirin. Maybe they can have the aspirin for themselves, but not for the employees. And if you ask people to endure pain because they are paid and you need to transform them from A to B, you will get a lot of frictions, resilience, and this kind of stuff, in our opinion, has to be stopped. Was Darwin to have the theory of evolution? I know that there are people that are challenging the evolutionary theory of Darwin, but I am not here to discuss about evolution versus religion, okay? I'm thinking about stop transforming, start evolving as a mantra. To let CIO or C executive in general to understand that if you are trying to transform your company, you will endure a very painful and costly journey. If you instead you get a status quo of what is your organization now, you put a North Star where your organization should be, and then you start an evolution to understand how to move from now to your North Star. And in this evolution, you have the right tools that we are providing with the Unicorns ecosystem to help people to change their behavior, technically and on social level, to arrive to the North Star altogether. Now you transform the chaos into an organized compound of individuals that they put their talents to achieve the North Star. For me, transformation is still a too entropic and empirical way to do stuff in a suboptimal way. That for an organization, it means costly. For the market, it means dysfunctional thinking and biases will prevail on good engineering.
So this is kind of coming back to the better value, safer, sooner, happier kind of mentality, right?
Yes, absolutely. And we were a few weeks ago in the IT Revolution Enterprise Technical Leadership Summit. I was presenting there. John Smart, the author of Better Value, Sooner, Safer, Happier, was there as well. And with John, we were indeed discussing about how behavioral engineering applied to the OKR and the right dojo ecosystem that are changing behaviors and technical practices, they are indeed a tool that can move whatever organization, not only IT company, but also industry, toward a new evolution of what they are doing.
So you have already talked about things that people, let's say, misunderstand or not properly do in the industry. If you would want to pick one, what would be the biggest misconception in your field of work?
Whew. This is a tough question, and I hope to don't open the Pandora box. If in case I will open it, somebody else will close it. But the misconception is, in my opinion, but not only in the market, I guess it's a problem that is prevailing in all this society, is the concept of I have money, I purchase whatever I want, whatever I need. And also the concept of I scroll, I click, I have what I'm looking for. When you sum these two behavior or patterns that are in your brain with the need of evolution, that is a process that instead takes longer and is a process that is not that much predictive, because if you are in an evolutionary process based on the environment, you need to change your evolution chain toward A or B based on how the environment change. Okay, in the scroll and click, or I have the money, I purchase something, is the time from the need to the outcome is very short. This is creating a prevailing idea in the executives that they go and buy agility. They go and buy DevOps. They go and buy whatever. I'm sorry, executive, you do buy nothing. You are wasting a lot of money And this is your problem. But the problem that you are generating, and I don't know if you are aware of, and I hope that you start to be aware of it, is that you are creating an environment that, as the latest report from Gallup and Infinite Potential are showing, is year after year increasing the rate of burnout and disengagement. So this idea of okay, agile is the final destination, we need to go and purchase agile, but my company is too big, I will purchase scaled agile, so I go and I purchase safe, and then I ask a consultant to bring safe to my company. This doesn't work. It's not the car that you bring from the dealer to your garage and you have the new car. But it's your ability then to being able to drive this car. So to being able to run a car or a super bike into a circuit, you don't go there with the normal driving license. When I was doing a rally or whatever other sport competition, you have a specific driving license for the competition that you are looking to do. Because the normal driving license is not enough. So this idea that they purchase safe from a consultant, a supplier, let's say in this way, and safe is deploying their company because they have the money and because is like just the click on my news feed, it doesn't work. And this is the biggest biases that we are seeing on the market. And the interesting aspect is that a lot of companies, even after failures, more than one, they continue with this mantra. So 20 years ago started the agile. So everybody was Scrum, Scrum, Scrum. Good. Then Scrum started to become the normality, and companies, big companies, they were saying, okay, but we need something more. And was Scrum or Scrum, Spotify, and then Safe, and then DevOps. Now everything with AI. These are tools. So in my garage, I have a gigantic wall full of tools. I have rack, cabinet, everything full of tools. Am I able to use these tools? Kind of, hopefully. If my brother will come here and do some work with me on my motorbikes, will be able to use it better? Probably yes, because it is my profession and I'm an amateur. These executives that they are buying safe, it's like my garage full of tools. Is the organization able to use these tools? Or is the system designed to let them perceive that they have purchased the tool and so it will be okay? Because we have a joke into the engineer. The engineer is working on a workstation that is completely clean and dry, and everything seems to be aseptic, like a surgery room. And then there are mechanics that they are working only with the hammer, and there are spills of oil everywhere. Both they have the same toolbox, but the outcome from A and B, they are pretty different. I believe that a lot of people, because they have invested a lot of money, they don't want to see the oil spill all over the place. And they believe that this is the way to work. But I'm sorry, this is not. So this is the bias that, in my opinion, is killing our business. And a lot of people that are working for these companies.
It is indeed a very detailed and long answer. If you would summarize it in one sentence, how would you do that?
Whew. One sentence. Stop to think that mindset is a product. You cannot purchase my discipline. I need to wake up every day 4.5 and doing all my stuff. you can purchase maybe the Iron Wolf workout, the calisthenic workout of the army that I was telling you. You can go to the Iron Wolf channel, purchase it, cost $20, something like this. But then it's up to you doing it every day. So you cannot purchase discipline. You cannot purchase digital excellence with money. This is why behavior engineering is part of the game, is the majority of it.
So as we start to close out this interview, is there anything important that we missed?
Anything important that we miss? A lot of stuff, but I guess it's matter for further interviews. In this one, probably what we miss is a message for everybody is watching and listening. If you guys are feeling the pain of working in the IT, it means that your environment is the wrong one. And if this is what you are feeling, as the reports they are showing, 73% of the employees in the companies are disengaged. 41% of the employees are burnout. This is a dramatic amount of human beings that are suffering in the IT field. In the future, IT, it will be even deeper into the social development of our world. So this data, they need to stop this climbing to every year being worse than the previous one. So if you are feeling this, it's a call for action. You need to do something. You need to start to upskill, reskill yourself to bring joy in the loop. I suggest you guys start to read the book Ikigai. That is the philosophy that you apply your passion and your talent to do the work that is paying your bills, and the work that you are doing is creating a better world. If you connect all this stuff together, you will finally get out of this dramatic data of burnout and disengagement. And you are not alone. There are thousands, probably millions of individuals that can join this with you. There is a community that could be the IT Revolution community where we are spreading all the messages of how it should be done, DevOps and technological advancement to bring joy in the loop, the better value, sooner, safer, happier that you were discussing before. And you can reach out us, you can ping us, you can connect with us, you can start to do the software craftsmanship dojo by your own, you can start to share it with your peers, with your leadership team. We can try to help you. Nobody should suffer because there is a lot of misconception on how IT should run business in a company. Because this is pure madness. IT should bring technological advancement, not technological pain. Technology is what helps us to move from the Stone Age to this moment in time. If the technology is bringing pain, it looks to me that we are returning back to Stone Age, where even to spark a fire, it was a matter of really being skilled and lucky. So all this, I guess it will be something that we will discuss in the future with dedicated podcast.
Thank you. That concludes today's podcast. Michele, thank you for the wonderful answers. Gearoid, for the very good questions. Michele, I hope that we didn't sweat you too much. Well, most probably your workouts are harder than this interview was. So, if you have liked what you just heard today, please subscribe to our YouTube channel or our podcast channels. Or you can read about our blog post on our LinkedIn page or on our website, brix.consulting. We will post all the links in the description of the session, so you will be able to reach us much easier. See you soon in the next session, where I believe I will be the one who will be tortured. Bye,
Yeah,
guys.
and we will enjoy it. Thank you.
I
And
have
see
no
you
doubt.
soon.
Thank you.
See you
Ciao.
guys.
Bye.